Today I'm speaking to Bitkumar and Russell, the creators of Coming Home, this beautiful art piece in front of us. How's it going, guys?
Great.
Doing good.
How are you doing?
We're doing beautiful out here. You know, it's a beautiful day to be talking about art, Bitcoin, and everything else.
Exactly.
Obviously. So before we do get into this, this beautiful painting that's actually being sold as an NFT, digitally, of course, we do want to go ahead and talk about just you guys in general. Kind of the creators behind this beautiful piece of work. So if you want, Russell, you can kind of begin. Like, who are you? How did you get into painting?
Sure. So yeah, Russell Mason's my name. I've been an artist my whole life, pretty much. Went to school at Pratt Institute, Brooklyn, New York. Just always been my main passion in life, and this was kind of a first for me. This painting that Arun first spoke to me, I was just kind of like, didn't really understand it. I was just kind of taken aback and took a little explaining from Arun, and I was like, okay. A few days went by. I think I'm starting to wrap my head around this, maybe. So, and it was a really unique idea, and I've done a lot of paintings over the years, and
Right.
I was surprised. I'm like, wow, I've never done anything like that. So,
And obviously, I guess you do painting, as your job. Like, what previous works have you done? Like, have you submitted them to any type of I guess you'd call it not a museum, but a galleries?
mostly
and stuff
galleries.
Like that?
Yeah,
Galleries?
I'm not quite at the museum level yet, but after I die, maybe.
Right.
So, I worked with some galleries in LA after graduating from school in New York. I moved out there. Was out there 5 years, and I just made some good connections. I worked with a gallery, Minotti, out there.
Okay.
And I started selling some paintings through there, and actually through a home builder. Sold some celebrity portraits of Angelina Jolie.
Harun showed me some pictures of that.
Yeah, he liked
that's
that
my
one.
favorite one.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that he mentioned that got me this commission anyway.
That was the one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he was looking at some different artists, I think, down in the city, and
I just wanted somebody local.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, someone that would do the job.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I understand.
somebody give a local person. Since I'm up here now, give somebody a shot to get in this world.
No,
So
definitely.
that's what I wanted to actually do. But I needed to find somebody with talent. So
There you go. You're the perfect guy.
I had to run into him. And
All right.
That's what happened.
Awesome. And obviously, you guys made this.
Yeah.
So obviously, you have the art side of this, and now obviously, Bitkumar over here. The crypto side. So Bitkumar, obviously, what got you into crypto? When did you get in?
Oh, it was 2013. Ran into Max Kaiser, which is you want to point him out?
Yeah, Max Kaiser over here.
Yeah, ran into Max Kaiser. He was giving an economics talk in New York City, and I went. I didn't know anything about crypto.
Right.
And it was just an economics talk because everybody was in the stock market. That's even I was. And then the after party happened, and that's when he first started talking about Bitcoin. And I was like, "What is this thing?" He goes,
Oh,
it's digital money. I go, digital money? I go, what's so great about it? He goes, imagine texting money to anybody in the world without the government knowing. So as soon as he said that, I got hooked. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. So that's, that was my first experience into Bitcoin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was all the way back in 2013 too.
Remember Mount Gox?
Yeah,
I used to
Mount
buy
Gox.
in Japan. But luckily I took my crypto, I put it on a paper wallet.
There you
And
go.
then Mount Gox tanked, and everybody lost their Bitcoin, but I'm the one who got out.
Remember, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. No, definitely. And I guess the economics talk that he gave, that wasn't necessarily on Bitcoin.
It had nothing to do with it.
Wow, that's
He
crazy.
was just talking about economics or something, But
Oh, wow.
I don't even remember that talk anymore. I remember what he said later. I was like, what? That's how it all started, and I go, so, Bitcoin, when I saw it was like the greatest thing ever, I was like, because, I grew up at the time when the internet first started, so
Right.
when my parents retired, they invested in these internet companies like Microsoft and all this stuff. So I was younger then. I was in early 20s or 1918 when all that happened.
Right.
So I knew when I saw the next big thing, I understood from my dad network value. So A lot of people don't understand that. Like the
What
big
is that? What is that?
network value is
Yeah.
like, why does Microsoft, Netflix, Amazon, they rule the world? They created a centralized network. So when they get you, they give a good product,
Right.
but when you get in their network,
Oh, you stay in there.
You-
Right.
that's
It's the ecosystem.
it's an ecosystem.
It's an
yeah.
ecosystem, right?
But everybody understands it now. But when they first came out, that's what my dad was explaining.
Ah,
These are
I
all
see.
these are high network companies, and the thing is, they can move their product free. Basically, you can go to Microsoft, download Windows. You can go to Amazon, click. You can go to Netflix and download your movie.
Right.
So that's high network value, and it's
Well,
very
liquid.
easy to get their product. So it's a frictionless system. You're getting their product doing nothing. Same thing with Bitcoin. If I send you Bitcoin, I'm really doing nothing. It's a frictionless system,
Right.
but it's on the ledger and everything.
Obviously,
So that's
yeah.
where, I understood it this way. So when I first saw Bitcoin, I knew it was a huge network, but this network was decentralized. So anybody who gets into it can become wealthy. The centralized network, who gets wealthy? Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, you know the guys.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's how it all started. So when I saw this, I said, this is my shot, and I knew it right. I knew it right away, actually.
No, and I think that's like a probably common theme with a lot of people that get into crypto is that like they'll like hear about it at some point in their lives, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, that's cool and whatever, go back to their day-to-day life. And then it's like a year later, 2 years later, it's like, oh, like it spiked up 1,000%. Oh, right. That's usually how it works. But it's funny that you mentioned like network value and like and kind of like the idea of making something more liquid,
Yeah.
like a product. Obviously, Microsoft. That's kind of what we're doing with this painting.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, making it into an NFT. So when did you guys meet then? When did you guys collide?
We met at the steakhouse. One of the managers, he did a painting for the manager over there. I said, because I was talking to the manager about doing an art piece,
Right.
and the manager said, "Why don't you talk to my artist?" I said, "Well, I'm looking for somebody with talent." So she showed me the picture Russell did for her.
Okay.
I was like, "Wait, let me meet this guy." So that's how it all started. You were, yeah. It was that night, right? Though you were a waiter that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were both
Yeah.
probably both very skeptical of each other at first.
That's how it naturally, right?
Yeah,
Naturally.
because
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, "Oh, I know this artist. He's probably like, he's probably not going to be able to cut it." And I'm sure that's what he thought. And then when he was talking to me about this Bitcoin and crypto stuff, I was like, "That's probably a scam." I don't know.
I mean, that's people's initial thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the initial thought.
So then I started looking into it. This was right around the time of the
Well, no,
NFTs.
he was up that night because I told him about NFTs. And weren't you up all night when I
Yeah.
told you to go to these websites?
Hey, this was a couple months ago
was.
as
yeah,
well.
this was
or-
like a couple months ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
trying to wrap my head around it. For the first time, I think for anyone hearing it for the first time, they're like,
It's really complicated. I understand.
non-fungible token, like a digital art, like what?
No, the thing is, I wanted to, give him a shot because, like, for example, the world's going decentralized, right? And
Web3.
for him, it's very hard to break into this world because you gotta, kiss a lot of people at the gallery to get your stuff in there.
Oh, like the art world, right?
Yeah, so it's very difficult.
I'm
This
sure.
is for it's great for like Bitcoin and like whatever crypto. It gives people freedom. It gives him freedom to show his artwork to the whole world.
Right, yeah.
And
It kind of eliminates the middleman,
Yeah.
which is what after researching it, that's what I liked about it. Is I'm like, well, I'm free to really do anything
Exactly.
at this point because
Right.
there's a little subconscious part of every artist's brain, whether you think you're free, you're doing what you want. There's a part in the back of your brain where you're like, is this something that's going to sell? Are people going to like this? Is a gallery going to like
It
this?
sucks too because it's supposed to be
So-
like a work of passion.
Yeah.
right?
So I think with NFTs, it totally cuts that out.
yeah,
Because you can reach millions of people instantaneously, and there's no middleman.
Right.
I think it's pretty amazing.
No, exactly. Like pretty much the blockchain enables you to be like that exact connection to like the consumers, right?
Yep.
And I think that's the most amazing part about the paintings in general. So obviously I was speaking to Arun last night as well, and We're gonna get into the painting very, very soon. I did want to kind of point out that there are obviously a couple of characters on here. One of them being the Doge. and we want to be clear that the Doge is put on there was before all the hype, right?
No, it was. Remember, this was created
Yeah,
even
I was
before
like,
all.
what is this dog?
Yeah.
Like,
This was created before everybody even talked about Dogecoin.
Right.
And we have all the timestamps to prove it.
Yeah, for all y'all.
I
you know.
wish I bought that when I was painting it. Like,
Oh, but yeah, it almost makes it even worse.
yeah.
So getting into the painting, obviously there are a bunch of Bitcoin-related figures in this art piece. We're gonna go through each of them, later on. But what inspired you to make it specifically look like this, Ruin Russell?
Well, for me, this is basically my thought process or my history in crypto. So it's like kind of like personal for me. So, the story of the prodigal son. Everybody knows that story. He comes home, asks for forgiveness because he went to try to make his fortune, but
Right.
he came home. So, like what Bitcoin is, it changes your mindset. So everybody's always chasing these dollars, which is
The dollars before?
Yeah, everybody's just chasing dollars forever, but people, they lose their minds chasing something that keeps on being printed. So 2013, right? I put dollars into Bitcoin.
Right.
If I never put those dollars into Bitcoin, my dollars would be a lot less, and I'd be, still looking at stock market stuff.
Right.
So once I realized that connection that I had to convert, so that's where the piece came from, and like all the people in the piece are like people who affected me the most in crypto. So first, you want to point out Max.
Yeah, Max Kaiser.
Yeah,
over
Max
here.
Kaiser was the first who told me about Bitcoin. He told me it's like texting money with with nobody knowing about it. I thought it was the greatest thing since the internet.
I mean, yeah, probably. Yeah.
Then Stacy Herbert is his co-host. Then of course the next people were the Winklevoss twins. So I understood them really right away when they got into crypto. So when they got into crypto, they actually created Facebook. So
Right.
once they got into crypto, they understood network value right away. So I jumped into their
Gemini. You mean, right?
Gemini right away.
Yeah.
I said these guys know what they're doing. They understood it right away. Then the next people then we'll go with Elizabeth Stark, one of the smartest women on the planet, one of the designers of the Lightning Network. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
she's top notch programmer. Then Tone Vays.
Tone Vays.
Everybody knows Tone Vays if you're in crypto. He's a chartist. I listen to him. He's actually really good. I mean, he has his quirks here and there, but he's pretty good. And that's his usually co-host is Jimmy Song.
Jimmy Song, right.
Yeah, he's a programmer and he's also a Bitcoin maximalist. And he's very, very, very intelligent when it comes to crypto and Bitcoin programming.
Okay.
So I respect him a lot. Then
The extremely controversial.
who do you want to talk about?
Oh, Elon?
Michael?
Yeah. I think most of you are probably going to recognize Elon the most.
Elon, don't take it the wrong way, he is actually a Bitcoin maximalist. So he got into Bitcoin. Everybody goes through their own journey in Bitcoin, all right? In 2017, you remember 2017, right?
Classic.
All those coins were being pumping. I did the same. So you remember Bitcore? I was the guy who pumped it that night.
Right.
We have all the timestamps. Remember back in our crypto ride chat group from Telegram?
Back in 2017. Can't believe that was 4 years ago.
That was 4 years
Yeah.
ago. So that was for me to acquire more Bitcoin. I knew how to do it. You pump something, you convert it to Bitcoin. Elon did the same. He took Dogecoin. When it was under a penny, he must have bought a couple $1 billion of it.
Right.
Sent out a tweet to his 55 million followers and said it's the next big thing. I don't blame him for doing it. He pumped it. All his followers made him fabulously wealthy, and he converted to Bitcoin. That's what happened. He just did it at a bigger level than the guys I know in 2017. We don't now guys like me can't do it anymore. We had our shot and we did it. But I don't blame him for doing it at all.
Very controversial. Quite obvious.
No, I mean, that's what I love about crypto or Bitcoin. It's pure capitalism.
Right.
He did what he had to do to get more Bitcoin. You'll do what you have to do to get more Bitcoin. So imagine there's a bunch of regulations. We'd have probably never talked about this, in 2017.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, no. And there is regulation, more or less, but like you can't regulate something that you can't control.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the whole thing with crypto. That they can try to regulate the on-ramps, like the exchanges and stuff like that, but once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
You can't really control the blockchain.
Yeah.
What about Max Kaiser over here?
You mean
That's not a nice guy. Michael Saylor.
Yeah. So
Saylor.
Michael Saylor, he was actually a Bitcoin skeptic. He had tweets back maybe 2013, 14.
Okay.
He said Bitcoin's a fraud, but no, it's there. They screenshotted, but whatever. Now he's a maximalist.
I think he's probably the biggest Yeah, no.
Yeah, but
I feel
the
like
thing
Ray
is,
Dalio is doing that kind of transition right now.
yeah, exactly. So the thing is, he transitioned. He understood it. All right, say what you want. You're not smarter than Michael Saylor. He has a PhD in aeronautical engineering from MIT, I think. So he knows what he's talking about. He understands the math. He understands dynamic systems. He talks like an engineer about Bitcoin.
Right.
He understands everything. So this is where the mathematics comes in. So Bitcoin is always 2 + 2 = 4. It'll never lie to you. Either you have it or you don't have it. So that's why all these people who have this, if you look at this, all these people have vast amount of intelligence.
Right.
It's not like they're mentioning something that doesn't work. So, when politicians talk about Bitcoin, they really don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's just,
I think it's obvious when you hear them open their mouths.
yeah, so that was my journey. That's what the piece is, and I wanted it portrayed. Then the NFTs came along, so that I knew that was my shot. This painting has been in my head for years.
Right.
But
and this is, by the way, based off of a previous biblical painting.
yeah,
right?
yeah, the previous prodigal son.
Okay.
Painting.
Right.
It was I just wanted to give Bitcoin a meaning for people. And it's also my personal life, all the people that I've learned from, my journey through crypto.
No, and these are some of the most important people in it, obviously, right?
Yeah, but some of them, everybody knows Elon, but some of the other people I wanted to give credit to, Elizabeth Stark.
Right.
This is probably the smartest woman on the planet.
It's funny. I feel like I don't hear anything about Elizabeth Stark. Maybe that's on
she's not
social
in the
media.
news much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
It's always, what is her, Kathy Wood?
Yeah,
Kathy Wood.
She's always in the news.
But Kathy Wood's very intelligent. Lynn Alden's very intelligent. Those are some very, very smart women.
Right.
Extremely smart. And what's her name? The lady from Unchained. What I'm talking about?
I don't think so. Probably, I don't know her name.
Yeah, she's very intelligent. But Michael Saylor, she did an interview with Michael Saylor, but Michael Saylor kind of put her in her place because she has a master's in art and he has a PhD in aeronautical engineering.
Right.
And then the technical parts came up. It was kind of a massacre.
No, I mean, and I think that's the part of crypto that a lot of people didn't get, and that's why a lot of people didn't get into it. Because I think back then it was a lot more technical.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where people kind of come in and make it easier for regular people to understand.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what NFTs did, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And obviously that's why what we're doing here. So when did you? I mean, obviously you guys kind of met up a couple of months ago, but how did you guys come up with this painting together? Like you said, you drafted it at some point, and then
Yeah, I drew. We met at day after we met at a restaurant, and
right.
then I drew it for him.
He was pretty intense. We met at Cheesecake Factory.
Right.
And I had no idea really what he was doing. He was being very vague at the steakhouse. I think it was the night before, right? Yeah, the next day we met at Cheesecake Factory. And then he had this paper and pen, and he starts writing all these names. And it's a long list. I'm like, these are the people in the painting? It's there's 11 people? I'm like, okay, wow. So and then he's talking about the prodigal son painting. He shows me that. And
Yeah.
he's like, so I want to find a way to get, all these people in one painting. And in my head, I'm like, okay,
This guy's out of his mind.
this should be interesting. Yeah.
How long did it take you to paint it? Actually,
It was quite a challenge. You know, I started with Photoshop. That was like the first step.
Yeah.
I had to find the right picture of each person, and then so I had the prodigal son painting in the background in Photoshop, and then cut and paste. Oh no, that one doesn't work. Find a new picture. Cut and paste. No, that doesn't work.
Oh, I see.
So then the bodies, those are all different bodies too that I cut and paste from different pictures on the internet. So yeah, a lot of Photoshop in the beginning, probably about a week or so. And then I sent it to him, and he's like, "Yeah, that looks great." So a couple little changes. here
Yeah,
and there.
the Photoshop was actually just really good. We just made a couple changes here and there.
Right.
So then the hard part, started.
Translating it, I would assume, right?
Yeah, it was turning it into an actual painting. I determined like the size, what size should it be in order to get all these people and the details and everything. There's a lot of details in the painting, and
I couldn't do even the floor. I mean, that'd be hard for me to do.
yeah, and then kind of came up with things along the way, like the money falling.
In the real painting, is there something falling, or is it just?
No.
I know it's real. It's like the little intricacies is what really makes it, I think.
Yeah.
In the original painting, there's actually a dog down there too.
Yeah. So it makes sense that the doge is there.
Yeah.
And the money, I think, is really impactful, especially now, months after the painting is done, because I think the U.S. inflation report just came out a couple weeks ago, and it was the highest inflation since
ever been, right?
like 20-something years or something.
Price of gas
So-
is what, $4 a gallon now.
So yeah, you look at the money falling on the ground with I think the symbolism is really impactful, getting more impactful as time goes on actually.
Yeah.
So then I like that, this was all his idea, but we have like the Bitcoin logo up on the priest's shoulder, and it is kind
It looks
of
so natural.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
shining. It's like a pristine store of value is really what it is, because it's not gonna devalue the way the money is, because it's a limited quantity. So, which I didn't get any of that in the beginning.
Right. Also, like, kind of after like painting it, like
Yeah.
researching and stuff. Oh, okay.
What's a maximalist? So I'm glad he got into it, so the thing was, I wanted to make the piece, but I wanted to do it. I had it always in my mind, but I'm not a programmer. And I knew these things were coming, NFTs. I was waiting for my shot and to give the artist a shot. So it came, and that's why,
That's why we're here today.
yeah, that's why we're all here today.
No, it honestly looks amazing, and I think it's going to speak, especially wonders like online as well, and people like see it on being sold as an NFT.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting also to see how it, what's the right word? How it like goes with time.
Yeah,
How
the
it
ages,
ages. Yeah. So, because what's going to happen with Dogecoin. So that'll be interesting to see. And then with fiat, we all know that's going down.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, yeah, it'll just be interesting, a couple months from now, a couple years from now, to like look at it and think like, so it'll have a totally different meaning, I think.
No, exactly. And it's funny because we were speaking about it last night, and I think what I like about it the most is that you kind of took something that was from the past, like who knows how long ago this picture was actually painted from the original, and the future, which is Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's such like a cool way to intertwine both.
It's like a clash of the old and the new, which works really well.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah. And that was all his idea. So.
Yeah.
Nah, he painted it.
So with this being said, obviously this thing is like a masterpiece, quite obviously. Do you guys have any future work planned or anything?
I got one more in my head.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's still in there.
Let's not leak it. Let's not leak anything.
It's gonna be really good too. But it's not gonna be biblical piece. It's more like a statue type.
Oh, like a sculpture or something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be based off of sculpture.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Well, I
That's
guess
the most I've heard about it. Too.
yeah.
I'm excited.
Just hit it. Okay. I gotta sculpt now.
All right, let me take some classes.
Well, you gotta learn.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a. We'll talk
Well, yeah. It's all right.
after we get this one going.
So then to kind of, I guess, to wrap everything up a little bit, I mean, we can kind of start with you, Arun, if you'd like.
Yeah.
What does Bitcoin mean to you, and I mean, where do you see it in the future, generally?
Well, first when I got into it, I was pure to become wealthy.
Right. And yeah, everyone can
But
relate,
then you
right?
start learning, wait, I'm already wealthy, but I can help a lot of people doing it at the same time. So that's when I started teaching, you and a bunch of other people back in the day.
Right.
And, it's wealth, freedom, helping people, all the things you really deep down everybody wants to do, but
That's
can't
what
do it.
Right.
But it gave me the shot to do all this. So that's what it really means to me. I mean, I made a lot of wealth out of it, but the thing was, you start converting, you're like, wait a second, I'm already wealthy, so why shouldn't I help other people now? It gives you the opportunity to be who you want to be.
Right. So it kind of brings you in with like the money, the greed side, but it kind of brings the good in you. in
Yeah,
a sense.
you're like, wait,
Yeah.
I have to do something else now. So that was like, it changes you. I mean,
Yeah.
you've been in it for 4 years.
It's definitely changed me. Yeah. I don't know where I'd be right now without it. I'll tell you that much.
Back in Panera Bread days. You
Yeah.
remember.
You'll move up to Cheesesteak Factory soon.
You got to start having meetings like
We
to
need
call
a
it the
sponsorship
White
from them.
that'd be good. So what about you, Russell? Obviously, I know that you're kind of you just kind of got into the space and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, what do you think about Bitcoin so far? I mean, and does it have any type of meaning to you? Would you say?
Yeah, I think the meaning is mostly with the NFT space for me as an artist.
Right. Yeah.
When I first tried wrapping my head around it, it didn't make a lot of sense. But then, like I said, I realized the freedom that it could bring, and it's really, I think, something that'll catch on. Other artists are slowly like getting into it. And I think it has a lot of figuring out to do right now. Like there's got to be more legitimacy to it. Like right now, I think Paris Hilton just had like a
like everyone's kind of
NFT.
coming with their
It's
own.
like a big celebrity thing right now, but
Yeah.
eventually that's all going to fade away, and like I think the real artists will emerge. And I think just like this painting, it's gonna.
Yeah, we wanted to give Bitcoin meaning to the masses. So people can actually see what Bitcoin is. They can't, you can't see it, but we wanted to give like a visual to people to help them see it, and learn about it, and for their own, well-being and learning, stuff like that.
Of course. No. Yeah. Definitely. No. I mean, any last words though? Just you want to tell the audience about your piece, or you want to tell people about crypto? Educate the masses. As they say.
Crypto.
Save yourself from inflation.
Save yourself
That's
from
a good one.
inflation,
That's
yeah.
really good. Save yourself from inflation.
I mean, the thing is, Bitcoin is Bitcoin. It turns into a belief system more.
I think it does. It really does. It's like a religion almost.
Yeah.
Like a cult. One of the two.
Yeah. So either if you're just
Same
going
thing.
in for the money, for us, like maximalists, we buy no matter what price it is. It doesn't even matter anymore.
You're happy when the price goes down.
Yeah,
That's what
we're
I'm
actually
thinking.
very happy with the
Yeah.
dips. We just buy more and more. So, don't be happy with an 80 when it shoots up 80%. Be happy when it goes down 80%, because
Right.
over time it's going to go back up. Never buy on these rips.
That's
Buy
what
on the dips.
everyone's like scared now. The fear index is so high. They're like, it's going to go to 20,000. It's going to go to 20,000. But what if it does? Like,
Yeah, what if
what's
it
going to
does?
happen then?
Ridiculous.
It's gonna shoot up. Who knows?
Yeah.
10,000% or something.
Remember when you first got into it back in the day?
I think it was like $1,000.
Yeah, $1,000. And
Yeah.
then in 6 months later, it was 20,000.
Nuts.
Nice.
Remember, guys, none of this is financial advice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is financial advice. It's just stuff we do in our spare time.
There you go. Anyways, again, that was Bitkumar
Yep.
and Russell, obviously talking about coming home, coming to a decentralized exchange near you where you can buy NFTs. We'll leave the links down below for Russell's artwork, as well as Bitkumar if you want to leave any links, so we'll leave it down there.
Yeah, we'll leave the link when we publish on.
Right. We'll leave the link for where you can find the actual piece online as well. And yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Have a good day.